Hey everyone, welcome to Insidewire. Today we'll be looking at reviewing the iSteady Mobile Plus Gimbal. Let's take a look at what comes inside the box, then we'll have a look at the gimbal itself with some of the features of the app. So this is the iSteady Mobile Plus box. It actually comes in a nice case for you to store the gimbal away when it's not in use. It's got a zip. Within there's a few leaflets, so there's actually a free gift for which I can apply for buying this product, which is good. The iSteady mobile instruction book, the warranty card for which you can fill in information of when and where you purchased it. It's got a USB cable, it's not a very long one to charge it, but there's that. There's a tripod stand for which you can mount the gimbal on for recording yourself, and that's the gimbal itself. So let's have a look at the app. So this is on the iPhone, the Gimbal app. So within here, I've just blanked out the camera for now, but I'll show you some snippets of what I took earlier. So going from the top left, we have the back button, we have some settings. So if we click on the settings button, we can go into here. You can see we've got camera settings and live. If we go to camera settings, we've got resolution, photo size, super face tracking, force maximum brightness, preview settings, Bluetooth, grid settings, photo face countdown, shutter sound, HDR, anti-shake, object tracking photography and zoom speed. Also we have a live, which basically allows you to broadcast live. So if you have a link that you can, or an RTMP server that you can broadcast to, you can actually broadcast straight from this app. I've not tested this myself, but it seems like a good feature if you are wanting to live stream. We have the rotation of the camera, the light flash, so we can just turn that on and off in auto, and it turns the flash on for you as well. Then we have some settings that we can play around with the camera settings. So we have the EV, the ISO, the shutter speed, the WB, so white balance, sorry, and lens selection. Moving on to the right hand side, we have the Bluetooth in the top right hand corner. So this is where you would find the device, connect to it, and this is where your gimbal then connects to the application itself. We then have face tracking. So there are other features that it mentions around group tracking and couples tracking, but I can only see a single tracking. So when you press this button here, it will actually do face tracking. Let's have a little look at an example that I did earlier. And then you can turn that on and off as and when, depending on what you need. Then we move on to the panoramas. So I did a couple of panoramas earlier. This actually has a 360 degree one and 180 degrees. Have a little look at a couple that I took earlier. And then the last but not least is the video. So this is where most of the good stuff happens, I guess. We have slow motion video, motion lapse, time lapse, standard video, light rail and long exposures. I've not played around with light rail and long exposures yet, but I've had a little look at motion time-lapse and time-lapse, and I quite like what I see, to be honest. So here's a little look at a motion time-lapse I did earlier. So when you select the motion time-lapse, it gives you an option to pick a few different areas where you want to move from and to. I think it gives you a maximum of 5, so it allows you to move in different directions, up, down, left, right. And the time-lapse, there's various shutter speeds and capture speeds you can do within there, so you can speed up your time-lapse if you wish to do so. But have a little look at this. And then just the final bit, we have something called in here for object tracking. So when you do a standard video, there's a little button in the bottom left hand corner here, and when you just highlight on your screen, there is object tracking. So what that does is it looks for an object and it tries to track it. I did test this out. It wasn't 100% accurate. So there was areas where it would track it sometimes, and sometimes it wouldn't track it. So here's a couple of videos that actually of me trying to do some tracking with a ball. So have a little look. So overall, this is a good solid build. I've enjoyed using it and playing around with some of the features. It gives a good stable image, whether you're using it for a panorama, whether you're using it for a motion time-lapse or a normal time-lapse, it's really good. Within the app itself, I think the motion time-lapse was my favourite feature. It's not something I've played around with before, but it's quite cool where you pick your start and end points, and it allows you to, it creates a time-lapse from the start to the end. So it's really cool, and you can pick the length of time you want that time-lapse for. So if you've enjoyed this video, give me a like, give me a thumbs up down below, and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. The links are in the description below, feel free to check it out. I look forward to bringing you some more reviews.